Here I am back in the dining room with a 440 6-pack. Testing it with and without the air cleaner on.
Welcome back to Nick's Garage. As usual, the shop is full to the rafters with beautiful examples of American muscle. Nick loves all kinds of cars, but he built a reputation and a business by rebuilding beautiful American muscle car engines. And today, he's got an excellent example on his dyno for testing.
Welcome to Nick's Garage, and I'm Nick. Alright, so we've got another engine on the dyno. One of my favorites, one of the most popular engines I've ever built is the Mopar 440 RB engine. In this case, we got a 440 6-pack that belongs to Robert that owns a 1970 Dodge Challenger. Sure, we call it a 6-pack because it's a Dodge. If it was a Plymouth Cuda, we'd be calling it a 6-barrel. So in this case, it's a 440 6-pack. So all I've done is just did a refresh on this engine, nothing very special, maybe just a little cam, and we just had it overhauled. We went 30 overboard with flat top, brand new pistons, then put back the 6-pack. You know, it's a cast iron heating manifold, factory rockers, exhaust manifolds, and we're looking for factory horsepower of which came from the factory 390, but my customer is looking for hopefully like just over 400. In my life, I've been growing up with a lot of 440s. I have a lot of friends that had 440s. You know, we started back in the back alley. I remember working on a 440 GTX, a 440 Roadrunner, and a few other cars. I also had a Charger, then one of my buddies, and they were all equipped with 440s. Not all of them were 6-packs. And not only that, we're also off the highway 440. I've got a 440 my Kawasaki Challenger. I've got a few spare blocks, all 440s. You know what? I am known as 440 man. Yes, I've done a lot of them. I love them. They're simple engines. They're not very expensive. You know, they're good horsepower engines, good torquey engines. They come with 6-pack, 4 barrels, and all kinds of goodies. But you know what? It's one of my favorite engines. You can still find parts for them. You know, they have them in motorhomes, big Chrysler New Yorkers, Newports, muscle cars, and it's been a very, very common engine. Then in the mid-60s, you know, we had the 426 Max Wedge. Before that was the 413. They were all the RB block, raised block. In other words, the tall block. And then the 383 was it was not an RB block, was a B block, which is a shorter deck, which was the 383, the 361, and also the 400, which came in the mid-70s and so forth. But besides that, one of my favorites is the 440. Sure, I love the 426 Hemi, but one of my favorites is the 440. And there's a lot of parts that are interchangeable when you work on a 6-pack, a 440, a 383, manifolds, cylinder heads, valves, timing chain, timing cover. Very, very, very common things to change with all the RB and B engines. So I just wanted to get it warmed up, run it. I have not tested it yet. All I've done is break in the cam yesterday and check for leaks. Everything looks pretty good. So all I want to do right now is to show you guys on my channel what a 440 factory does on that dyno.
And 3 of the things that make this 440 special are sitting on top of that intake manifold. 3 deuces. Back in the day, the guys at Chrysler put this one together with 3 2-barrel carburetors for a total of 6 barrels or a 6-pack.
The 440 6-pack came out in 1969 and a half. They put them in the A12 cars with the lift-off hood. You know, when there were road-tested cars in the late 60s, everybody had a good muscle car. But then when Chrysler did 440 in their B-bodies, they said, you know what? It's a good engine, but there was something missing. They had the 4 barrels and there was just something missing. And they said, you know, someone said at Chrysler, let's try a triple carburetor. You see how it goes. And then when the 6-pack was put onto a 440, and let me tell you, it raised the stakes, because after that, it was a muscle engine for sure. It started to rule the streets. This was a muscle engine. All they needed to do was add 2 more barrels from a 4-barrel, and it woke up the engine. Sure, it's a very simple setup. The two center barrels, or should I say the center carburetor, it runs off the choke and your idle circuit. And on the secondaries, front and rear, these open up with a mechanical linkage operated by vacuum secondaries. So in other words, when this engine runs, it starts on a 2-barrel, you're cruising, it's 2-barrel. Then when you start pressing more than halfway full throttle, what you get is full 6 barrels instantly. For example, as you're driving, you're going full throttle, or for example, let's say you're just cruising. Then when you go full throttle, you do this on the pedals on the floor, and then this opens up. And as you can see, both carburetors are connected together. So you got a 2-barrel or a 6-barrel at the same time, not 2, 4, 6. 2 barrels cruising, then when you floor it, you have sudden 6 barrels wide open throttle. And the best part is when you're cruising with a 6-pack and you're driving it, you know when that 6-pack opens up, it just howls like whoa, whoa, like that so. And we can hear it now on the dynamometer. We're going to try it. And I want to try something else. Someone told me he made a few months ago on a comment on a 6-pack that 6-pack is tuned with the air cleaner on. So we're going to make a few tests, and at the end we'll go get the air cleaner, put it on, and make another test with the air cleaner on, see the difference. Okay? So stay tuned and watch this here, see how it goes. I just wanted to say a special thanks to Gary, Schultz, and family that's supporting us on this fuel, because we met him at Motorama, and he said next time you guys fill up the cell on the dyno, it's on him. So Gary, Schultz, and family, thank you very much. And here we're using Petro-Canada 94 in this application. You know, I always like using Petro-Canada 94. It's got a 94 octane. It is the most common fuel I use in my dynamometer. Thanks, Gary. It's on you, this one. Thank you.
Hey Nick, if they outlaw gas tomorrow, would you build electric hot rods?
Nope. I'll still build the gasoline motors. I'm old school, and this is who I am. And I like running on petrol, let me tell you. Sure, electric cars are great, but you know what? I grew up with gasoline, and here I am playing with gasoline. Okay, let's get it warmed up and let's do some testing. Are you guys with me? Let's do it. I also wanted to mention that this is a 446-pack engine, 1970. That's when the 6-pack rods came in. If you look up the offset weight on the harmonic balancer, this tells us that this engine is equipped with a 446-pack rods. Just like my 440 Magnum in 1970, because the 440 Magnum 4-barrel also came with a 6-pack rods and a steel crank, just like this 6-pack here. Okay, let's fire it up. And there we have it, 3,000 to 5,000. It's a 4.350 bore, which is a standard bore is 4.320. 30 over makes it 4.350. So we got a 446 cubic inch, 440 engine sitting right here. I've checked the fuel gravity, it's still at 750. I'm not gonna touch that, that's good. And let's get it warmed up. Here we go. O2 sensor on. Check the fuel pump, make sure we got no leaks. I think we're good. All right, ignition, O2 sensor, and I believe we are ready to go. I'm just going to advance the timing a little bit. So we're warm it up and then we're going to do the timing on it. Here we go. myself a new timing light so I can figure out what's going on. Anyways, we'll do some testing the way it is. I'm gonna warm it up, make a blast, put the timing in at 34 degrees max, and see how it goes. We're gonna get it to operating temperature roughly 160, and when we get there, we're going full throttle. Oil pressure is good. We are at 166 degrees Fahrenheit on the water coolant. Like I said earlier, we're going to make one test. We're not going to count it. Heat sink the block. In other words, get the cast iron nice and hot, operating temperatures, and then after that, we're going to start doing our testing. Follow the numbers. Okay, I gotta put my vacuum back on. All right, here we go. Now I gotta get the idle fixed because now that I got it warmed up, this is the first time I gotta adjust the air-fuel ratio. Okay, let's see if the absorber is adjusted correctly. Okay, here we go. Let me just check it out. You see that all stumble? Like I said, we're not taking any numbers into consideration right now. I just want to warm up the engine, get it to idle, set the timing, and then we're going to take it from there. All right. Check the oil pressure, check for leaks. Let me adjust the engine, then we're going to do some further testing. We had a stumble as we opened up the secondaries, but I'm just gonna. We had a stumble when the secondaries opened up. They were opening up too early. But then again, you guys, this is something I tune on the car, in the car, I should say, when I road test it. Because you know, I go with the weight of the car if it's an automatic or a 4-speed. But on the dyno, what we do is when I go full throttle, they open up way too early and causes a stumble. I just want to say that someone made a comment that when you do a 6-pack on a dynamometer, the carburetors are tuned to work with the air cleaner. So you know what? I'll consider that suggestion and I'll get the air cleaner. We'll put it on and see what it does. Before we do that, before I put the air cleaner on, I just want to show you guys how the linkage works on a 6-pack. So I'm just going to do another test without the air cleaner just to see how it goes. And I'm going to go a little bit of higher RPM and see what power we're making and what kind of torque. So stay tuned. Let's put the fan on, cool down the room, and let's do some testing. All right, I just want to interrupt for a minute because I just wanted to show some merchandise that I got, which we support our channel with this. And some of the merchandise I'm wearing right here, Peace, Love, and Muscle Cars. And a matter of fact, every time we put a new product on the Teespring, or should I say on the merchandise, I like to get a sample to look at it before it goes out to our viewers. As of today, I've got 2 new products. And our first one is going to be our famous tumbler. So let's take a look at what we got here. Nice silver finish. It's called a tumbler. There it is. You guys can put anything hot or cold in here. And a matter of fact, if you were to put ice here in the morning, keep it all day with you, even late in the afternoon, you open it up, the ice will still be there. And it's going to be nice and cold. Or even a hot coffee. Keep it hot as long as you want. You know, it's stainless. I sure love it. It sure looks good. You know what? Tomorrow morning I'll make a cup of coffee. I'm going to put it in here. There you go. You have it in the car. If you have a bumpy truck, vehicle, or a bumpy road, put one of these in your truck on the console. Close the cover. No spillage. Safe driving. It's got the flames like a little hot rod with the flames over the hood. Next garage. Okay, so next time I make a coffee, I'm going to put it in my tumbler and enjoy. Now I had my hot coffee during the day. At the end of the day, I want to go home to a nice cold beer. And here it is. Fragile. Okay. There it is. Nice solid glass. Nick's Garage written on it. Also from Teespring. If you guys go to Nick's Garage Gear, Google it. You'll find it very simple. There's a lot of items we got there. But anyways, this is a nice solid glass. And it doesn't wear out like a t-shirt. This can last forever in your house, you guys. This is perfect for 1 pint of beer, which is perfect. If you want to make a cold glass of milk, chocolate milk, or anything you want, there's a perfect glass. I remember in the younger years, we used to buy peanut butter, and it was in a glass. So this way, when you finish the peanut butter, you have a nice glass after it's done. So you wash it, and you have a glass. And in this case, it's not peanut butter, but it's from our Teespring, or should I say, Nick's Garage Gear. Google Nick's Garage Gear, and you'll find it, you guys. And there's a lot of merch, a lot of stuff on it you can enjoy. Matter of fact, you know what I like doing as a midnight snack? And I still do from a young age. is I fill up this glass with milk, and then I take 2 big spoons of quick chocolate mix, and this is one of my favorite things as a midnight snack. And this is the perfect glass for it. And there you have it, you guys. There's our 2 latest merch we have on our merchandise. And you know what? By buying this, you guys support our channel. And I want to thank you very much. And now, back to the show. And again, I keep forgetting to put my headphones on. But I'm going to bring it at a little bit higher RPM this time. I'm going to bring it at 5,300 RPM. Actually 54. There we go. Okay, here we go. There we go. That was good. Okay. Let me take a quick look, see how it's going. Okay, let's see the readout. Here we go. Let's take a look. And there we have it. All right. Again, I keep missing my numbers by 1 number. Look at the torque. I was hoping to get 500. We got 499.4, which is basic, perfect for the 446 pack. And the horsepower, check it out, you guys. At 5,300 RPM, we got 425 horsepower, just like a 426 Hemi. Do I need to bring it any further? On a higher RPM, maybe I'll bring it up a couple of hundred RPM. Air-fuel ratio is perfect. We got 12.9 to 13.2, which is great. Air-fuel ratio. Temperature of the water was 158, 159. Okay, we're gonna run it a little bit warmer. So far, it's pretty good. We got 500 foot-pounds of torque. What that? 499.4 at 3,800 RPM. Horsepower is at 425 at 5,300 RPM. You know, it is a 440 wedge. I'm gonna just play around with the timing a little bit just to see where it's at. And I'm gonna make one more test, and then after that, we're gonna go to an air cleaner. I just wanted to mention that Steve came by, and I've asked him to invite himself in the dyno room to see a real live dyno session. So Steve, welcome. And by the way, he's got a beautiful 74 charger out in the front. We have a few things to do on it right now, but at the moment, we're focusing on a 446 pack here on the dyno. So we did a few tests with the without the air cleaner. So I was just thinking now, putting on the air cleaner, do another test, see how we can do with it. Then after that, we're gonna check with timing and air fuel ratios on the money. I just want to see what it does with the air cleaner. We just did a 425 horsepower, 500 torque, and let's see what makes any changes with the air cleaner on. What do you say? Go for it? Go for it. We have to get our 3 gaskets, which go right over here. You know, this is going to be something strange. I don't usually do this. I don't know if I've ever done a 6-pack with an air cleaner on, but you know what? One of our comments, one of our viewers mentioned that tune it with a 6-pack air cleaner on. So we have it. Let's put it on and let's do some testing. I also wanted to mention that a lot of parts on the Chrysler products were made in Canada. Here's an example. From Canada made this air cleaner, the 6-pack for the Chrysler products, and a lot of things. You know, there were bumper brackets, there were dash pads. A lot of products were made for Chrysler, made in Canada. And here's one right here. There's a factory air cleaner base plate for a rally hood. So let's get it on and let's do some testing. Okay, get the air cleaner. You know, it's an older restoration on this car, so don't expect the top to be super shiny. It is what it is. So, this is good, eh? You should take a picture of this for Instagram. Here we go. Steve, this is the first time I'm doing this. Air cleaner, 6-pack, I believe, if I remember correctly, on the dynamometer. Okay, let's get going. Let's go. Okay, George, let's see how it goes. Get on the O2 sensor. See, we pulled out a 425 horsepower.
You're gonna have 10 left now.
Yeah, well, let's try. That's what I'm here for. You know what? The dynamometer is a tool, so let's see which way we're heading. We're gonna see if the air fuel changes also. Here we go. We had a little stumble there, but we're gonna check that out later. All right. We did, eh? We lost a little bit of horsepower there. Now it seems to be running rich on idle. Torque. It gained torque. It gained 1 torque, 1 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, so we lost about 5 horsepower, and torque actually 499, 500, same thing. So the torque did not change anything. I'm just going to do one more test back to back with the air cleaner on, and then we'll take it back off again and do some adjustments and see where we get. So we maxed out 500 foot-pounds of torque at 425 HP. That is what my client was looking for. This is what we have. So now we'll just do a few more tests so we see how it goes, and I want to check for oil leaks, vibrations, everything else seems good. The timing, I believe, is at 34 degrees. Maybe I'll bring it to 36. Let's make another test with air cleaner on. Okay, back to back. Let's do it again. I'm going to go much slower now to see how that stubble is going to work. Got a richer mixture on idle. to bring the heat in. I just want to bring the water temperature up. 150. I'm going to bring it a little bit higher. Keep going. All right, here we go. Let's take off at 154 like we did before. Oil pressure is good. Water. Here we go. Hey, we got the same power back, 424. So air cleaner on or off, we're still there. Okay, so we lost the torque, like about 2 foot-pounds of torque because the engine got warmer than usual. But it doesn't matter, we still got the 424 horsepower. If you guys look at the numbers, and here's the graph, you guys. There's the graph. Air cleaner on. There you have it. Did you notice that, Steve? We made a few tests. We got the same torque numbers. We got the same horsepower. So air cleaner off or on made no difference in this application. And like we were saying, the carbs were tuned to work with an air cleaner on, which we did. Made a test. We got back our 424, 425 horsepower. The torque is up there too. So you know what, you guys? If you run this car, keep the air cleaner on. You have no loss of power torque, so you're safe with it. And we still have the exhaust manifolds on. And like I told you, the only thing on this engine is just a little mild cam, which is the same cam as my Kawasaki Challenger, which is the comp cam, which is the, I believe the 223-4. It's a hydraulic flat tappet. Doesn't have much of a duration on it. We have, 14 inches of vacuum on idle. We got good power brakes with it. I have it on my Kawasaki Challenger. That is the reason why I installed power brake booster, so I could do some test runs on my car before I build them and sell them to my clients. Steve, what do you think of this?
Good.
This is live action, eh? It's pretty loud in here, isn't it?
Well, I'm used to it.
You're used to it, eh? There you have it, you guys. 446 pack on a dynamometer. Maybe, you know what? Just for you guys, I'll make one more test without the air cleaner on. I just want to show how the linkage works. I'm going to open it up a little bit much slower so I won't stumble, because this is something I tune in the car. So let's take off the air cleaner and one more test. What do you say? Let's go for it. This is a nice setup, you guys. Made in Canada. Okay, didn't lose no power. Yeah, I'm really surprised. You know, too bad I do not have a K&M air filter. I have the basic paper element, which the owner of the car has. But it doesn't really matter. You know, this is what he has. This is what we use. This is our real numbers, what we have. So let me take this off. I'll make one more pull or test and see what our numbers stay stable. And then wait for the client to come in tonight. So I'll do some further testing with him. So in the meantime, let's make another run. I got my numbers. 425. That's what my client wanted. 426 semi numbers. I got it. 500 foot-pounds of torque. We hit it, so we're all good. So I just want to make another test with my stumble on it. But you know, when you sometimes install it in the car, you don't have the stumble. I only have it sometimes on the dynamometer, but it doesn't matter. I tried it with the air cleaner on, the air cleaner off. It still had a little stumble. But now I'm going to make another test, go much slower, and see what really happens. And I'm going to put it on camera so you viewers can see it. And here we go. Oil pressure is good. Vacuum. Water's at 150. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we gained 2 HP. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Well, look, the torque went up to 502. Wow, same basic numbers. Horsepower is at 426.5 at 4,800 RPM. It is what it is. You know, it's just a driver. It's not a race car. This is exactly what my client was looking for. He wanted to make sure there's no oil leaks. He wanted that little rumble idle, which we got with the cam. And I think we just got everything perfect for it. So here we have it, a 446 pack, 1970 Challenger RT. It's an automatic car. And we have it. Now let's go take a look if there's any oil leaks. Here we go. Take a look. This is what my client does not want is oil leaks. So you know what? This is what we use our dyno for, you guys. Looking for maximum horsepower, torque, adjustments, and everything else. Adjust the carburetors. Okay, so everything went well. It was a simple build, and I was happy with it. And I know at 36 degrees, it's 34, 36. I'm gonna leave it there because I've done a lot of these engines. This is what they like. I'm gonna leave it there. And then after that, once we put it in the car, we'll do some final tuning there. But from what I see now, this is what it is. It's perfect. And you guys, thank you for spending time with us here with the 446 pack in my dyno. And thanks for watching us here on Nick's Garage. Thank you. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.